selling car are lucky enough to drive a new car every week. So, without further ado, here are the top 5 sporty new cars that we've driven this year that are under $25,000. Okay, one's a little bit more.
It's kind of like they took the Abarth, the Fiat that Roman and I love, and they stretched it. It has the same engine.
Oh my, what an incredible SRT lineup. Charger, Challenger, Jeep. Nathan, focus. Dart. We're here in Texas in the Hill Country to review and drive the brand new Dodge Dart.
In fact, this is the rally version with the 1.4-liter turbocharged engine, multi-air.
And we're gonna take it for a ride, so don't even think about it, Nathan.
Well, I just think I can
No, Dart, we're here, Dart. Like precision, you get a little plastic knob. It's just not my cup of tea. Doesn't mean it's bad. I was just expecting a different car.
And see, on the other side of it, I'm a simple American, and I like something that's just chunky and right there and ready for me to bang it around. And that's exactly how it feels like to me, like it's like ready to be used.
Hey, speaking of banging it around, let's do 0 to 60.
Ooh, yeah.
That thing around.
Yeah!
Go! All right, got some wheel spin there, Nathan. And you got a pretty violent second gear. Here comes 50, and here comes 60. Okay, let's see what the results were. Remember, we've got the turbo engine. What do you think, my friend?
In the 7s.
9.3. There are 3 different engine choices. The base engine is a 2-liter Tiger Shark. This one is the multi-air turbo, which is a 1.4-liter, which is our favorite, I think. And of course, you can also get the bigger engine, which is 180 horsepower Tiger Shark. Nathan, why Tiger Shark?
Because it sounds badass.
It does sound badass.
We're going on a pretty severe corner right now. Nice and flat. Very impressive. The steering doesn't really tell you what's going on, but it's nicely weighted.
And then as you come around to the rear of the vehicle, you know, talk about Dodge and leveraging some of that muscle car flavor. You know, we have the flying buttress here. I've worked at Chrysler for, gosh, almost 25 years, and it seems like almost every Dodge we work on, we try to do that. And it's just something that is near and dear to our heart, and a lot of people, it resonates with a lot of people. And it goes back to the 1968 Charger that had that flying buttress.
The question is this your grandfather's Dart? No, it's not. The original Dart had a 6-cylinder engine to begin with that was a slant 6 at 30 degrees, and it was an interesting engine because it just lasted forever. But it was boring. It was front engine, rear drive, simple car. However, they also had Darts that had massive V8s with over 413 horsepower. So in certain ways, a vehicle like this that has normally aspirated and turbocharging could sort of represent something similar to the Dart in the past, but frankly, they have nothing in common except for the nameplate.
All right, unlike the Giulietta, there's a lot of room in this car because it's wider, taller, and longer. And Nathan, how about in the back? The Giulietta has no headroom.
Yeah, there's a little bit of headroom back here, but you definitely have to be careful of this little sill right here. You'll bang your head on it.
So the question, of course, my friend, is...
Oh, yeah. All right, do I fit?
Does Nathan fit?
I'm going to show you, but we're going to do a little different this time because this is surprisingly roomy. Yep. I fit. You can put a golf bag in here with me, baby.
Is this the Alfa Romeo Giulietta? And the obvious answer is no. No way, no how. It's bigger, it's longer, it's wider, it's taller. It's just been Americanized. It's a Dart. And in fact, Roadfly will demonstrate that right now. That was Elizabeth from Roadfly darting through the dart. Oh my, Nathan. Oh my, that was close. So, bottom line on the new Dodge Dart. If you are looking for an Alfa Romeo, then I say wait for Alfa Romeo to come here. Don't get the Dodge Dart because
it's a Dodge Dart, because it's an independent American vehicle that's fun to drive, that's really lively, and think of this particular model with the turbocharged engine as a heavier American cousin to the Fiat Abarth.
Hey Nathan, try going out the other side.
Okay. Hey, there's a door here.
That's right. That's just one of the things that makes this brand new Hyundai Veloster such a unique car. Let us show you the rest. You know, I'm very lucky to drive a lot of different cars every year, and this is a truly impressive new vehicle, except for one thing, and that's right here under the hood.
The 1.6 liter engine. It puts out 138 horsepower and just 123 pound-feet of torque. And that ain't a lot.
It's a great engine if you have a teenager who you don't want to see wrapped around a tree, but if you want to have
a little bit of fun, this isn't the engine to do it.
No, get the turbo.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan, to sum up, the Veloster is a stylish, innovative, I'd say cool car with a fun personality, but with one Achilles heel.
Yeah, that engine is just way too weak. It's made for economy, but it's really good economy. 28 miles per gallon in the city and up to 40 miles per gallon on the highway. That's really freaking good.
So, would you buy it?
If it had a turbo, yes.
The Veloster competes with cars like the Honda Civic, the Subaru Impreza, and the Volkswagen Golf, all of which have generous amounts of room in the back. So how does the Veloster stack up? Let's find out.
Not bad at all. There's actually a lot of space in here because it drops down nearly a foot from where you see my knee. That is really impressive.
Well, you know, we're fond of saying the most inexpensive Italian sports car.
That's true. It's certainly a lot cheaper than a Ferrari.
Yeah.
They make us wear these head condoms, which, okay, it's not so great, but here's my prediction for this track time. A little bit of whack, and then a lot of whack, 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 whack. It's gonna be good. Roman, went out with an engineer that helped tune this car for America. Check it out.
We got 160 horsepower. How much power can you put through those front wheels before it gets out of control? How much more can you chip this thing for?
I'd love to know firsthand the answer to that question.
Yeah.
We've played a little bit, and you know, the nice thing about turbo cars is you can always turn the wick up a little bit. We think our customers are going to be really very pleased with the 1.4 turbo as it is, with 160 horsepower. You know, there will always be people who want to do an upgraded powertrain via calibration or maybe bigger turbo, and historically Chrysler has always been very supportive of that with our Mopar Stage 1 kits. So I think, you know, it would be reasonable to look for things like that in the future.
Yeah, you brought out a car, the Venom, right? And that had 200 horsepower, so that's going to tear the front wheels off.
No, you know, one of the great things about this chassis is it's how planted it is. Even with 1.5 degrees of negative camber at the front axle, which is pretty aggressive, it's got equal length half shafts, and so what that does is it keeps the car really very stable under acceleration. There's no torque steer to speak of, and it really helps you get a strong drive off the corner.
I remember my friend had a GLH, Goes Like Hell. I don't know if you remember that, maybe before your time. But that car, you know, at that time had a lot of torque steer.
Yeah, step on the gas and change lanes. Yeah. And the only question is which way are you going to go?
Exactly. So how much do the electronics aid in that today?
So I guess the best metaphor to talk about this is to build a good house, you have to build it on a strong foundation. So a car can be great with the electronics on, and that car is probably great with the electronics off. A car that's just okay with the electronics on might be a basket case with them off. But basically, when we set out to do this program, we started off saying the raw chassis tuning, the powertrain tuning, you know, everything's got to be strong, and then we superimpose on top of that things like the TTC system, the torque transfer control. The TTC system is something actually we've spent a lot of time tuning on racetracks. So in a situation like right now, second gear, going onto the straight, you step into the power, and some cars will start, some front wheel drive cars, they'll start spinning that inside front wheel. You don't get a very good drive off the corner. This one just applies a little bit of brake on that inside front wheel, kills the wheel spin, and gets you reduced understeer and much better drive off the corner.
All right, so here's the funny thing. We just did a 0 to 60 acceleration test with this car directly against the Mini Cooper. And it was crazy because they were 0.1 second apart. So this one was 7.7 and I think the Mini was 7.6. And that has a lot to do with driver. But were you benchmarking the Mini when you went, you know, for this car, or were you just building its own kind of deal?
So in Europe, where this car started its life, specifically I'm talking about the Abarth here.
Yep.
There's just a mess of A-segment hot hatches, right? Yeah. It's a really popular segment there. Not so much here, right? And the Mini Cooper is a B-segment car, right? It's a larger car. It's a more expensive car. But certainly we like to perform well relative to our competition, and I think the car makes a very good case for itself. It's different, but I think it's a very strong competitor.
I love that engine note. How long did you spend on tuning that?
Well,
is that just the engine?
The engine, it's again, man, yeah. To build a good house, you got to start with a strong foundation. So the engine has a lot to do with it. I'm really glad you say that, because frankly, the team, especially the exhaust team and the powertrain calibration team, I tell you what, man, they had some sleepless nights on the exhaust note. We tried, probably 12 or 14 different muffler tunings before we had the great idea, which was, let's just take it off and see what it sounds like. so actually, the sound that you're hearing and that you're liking,
yeah.
The car actually, sorry, a little bit of a dip there.
That's right, yeah.
The sound that you like so much, the car actually doesn't have a muffler really to speak of. It's got it's got the housing, and it's just a straight pipe in there, and it's completely legal, passes all the required certification, but it sure lets you know when you're tromping on it.
Having driven both on the road and on the track in the new Fiat Abarth, if you were to ask me what my favorite part is, I'd have to say it's the engine note. It's just fantastic. Don't like the name because I still have a hard time saying it. And yes, coming down the straightaway, that's my man Nathan, flogging it to within an inch of its life. Listen to that engine note. It's fantastic. 95 down the straightaway.
Yep.
That's great.
It's good fun.
And what's really surprising is a lot of cars have sport buttons, but this one actually works.
Yeah. Yep. You know, a lot of people do drive mode select, sport, whatever. But we when we started architecting the program, we said, okay, what do you really want? And we thought we need to move these modes really far apart, right?
Nathan Adlin here with the Fast Lane car. Guess what I'm driving?
And now for something completely different. No, not really. Guess what I'm driving? That's right, we're driving two almost identical cars. Can you tell which one I'm driving?
We'll give you 5 seconds. Have a look.
Keep looking. All right, voila! I have the Subaru BRZ, and Nathan, of course.
I have the Scion FRS.
There are 3 slight differences, Nathan.
Yeah, from the front you could tell the difference with the headlights and the fog lights.
And mine has a somewhat goofy air intake bumper thingy on the front of it. Otherwise, they're identical.
This sweet little Scion FRS has a 2-liter, horizontally opposed, 200 horsepower engine that puts out 151 pound-feet of torque.
Yes, but my Subaru BRZ has a 2-liter, 200 horsepower, horizontally opposed boxer
Oh, yeah, come on.
engine. Okay, they're identical. Completely, absolutely identical.
This Scion FRS really just comes in one flavor. There's only one type you can get.
Unlike the Subaru, which comes in, well, a couple of different flavors, and I, of course, have the loaded one. So if you want navigation, if you want leather seats, if you want heated seats, and if you want that cool spoiler in the back, you're gonna have to get a Subaru and pay a little bit more.
These are essentially the same cars with some suspension differences. I've driven both and they are a little bit different, but basically they're the same car.
Yeah, so we reviewed the Scion, which means we've in essence reviewed the Subaru, and you can always click here to watch that review. So what are we gonna do with these things, Nathan?
Well, mine's a manual.
Wait, yours is a manual?
Yeah.
Mine's an automatic. Ooh. 0 to 60, which one's faster, man or machine?
I'm gonna kick his ass.
No way, I'm gonna kick his ass. All right, Nathan, guess what I have? It's a key fob, right?
Yep.
But watch this, the magic finger.
If I only had $1 for every time I heard that.
You don't have that, do you?
No, mine uses a regular key.
All right, 0 to 60 using the Solo DL in a 6-speed automatic. I'm gonna put it in drive. I'm gonna put it in sport mode. I'm gonna leave the traction control on, and I'm gonna turn off the air conditioning to give me a little bit more power. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. Okay, well, that's leisurely. Oh, there we go. It does get a little bit more oomph once it gets above about 4,500 RPM, and that's 60. All right, dude. Read him weep.
11.78.
Yep, 11.78 seconds in 562 feet. I'm gonna turn the air back on. Oh, it's hot.
Oh, it's really hot. And by the way, we get this all the time. We're at high altitude. That means cars go slower. We're just gonna leave it at that, okay? They go slower at high altitude.
Question, of course, is which one's faster?
Oh, mine is.
Machine or
Man.
man? Well, we're about to find out.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
No way.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
11.78. Can't beat that.
I can beat that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, man or, well, machine, Subaru or Scion, BRZ or FRS. I've got the Solo DL set up. I've got Nathan. You ready, dude?
Yeah.
You want it in sport mode?
Yeah.
All right, sport mode it is.
Sport mode.
All right, go for it. 0 to 60, 11.78 is what you have to beat. A little bit of wheel spin and it bogs because there's not a lot of torque or power below 4,000. Spins a second. Here comes third. And, oh my. And the Solo DL says 10.34. But we have a definite outcome, and it is by far manual. And Nathan, good job, dude.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Nathan. Man, it is.
Yeah, and this is one of the sweetest 6-speed manuals I've sampled. It's wonderful. Short throws, good stuff.
As always, this is Roman and
Nathan.
reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Now, if we could just tell the difference in road feel. By the way, are you up for anything?
I'm always up for anything.
All right, stay tuned. All right, Nathan, you are a car connoisseur. You drive hundreds of different cars every year. So if there's any man that can tell the difference between the FRS and the BRZ, it's you. So just by the feel, what are you driving?
I'm in the FRS. Wait. It's the BRZ. No, it's the FRS. It's the FRS. It's the FRS.
And how can you tell that?
My tushy. You see, it's a BRZ on the tush, but my hips feel FRS. I'm so confused. I can't figure out which one this is.
I thought you would know by the steering feel.
Yeah, you know, the steering wheel tells you so much, but you know, for some reason, I'm not really getting it. I don't know why.
That's because I'm driving it, you.